And thank you for joining us for another webinar as we bring you today two phenomenal, successful owners who are willing to open not only their thoughts to us, but also their offices and their homes. And that's what we're here to talk about today. And cross-country core training is what we're here to talk about. First of all, what is cross-country core training? What I'm going to do is sweep away some of your core problems by bringing to you core training in your very area. The cleaning of the home is obviously the critical link between where you are now and where you would like to be in your company. I mean, let's face it, what we do is clean houses for a living. So if you can't do that perfect every single time, you simply cannot build a repeat client base. And when I started doing cross-country training and actually visited offices, I realized this more and more. Then as people came to Hill Country Harvest and they learned how to clean houses and I saw how their numbers went up, the critical link is the cleaning folks, especially if you want a repeat client model base where you can just grow through self-sustaining measures. So what I've done is condensed Hill Country Harvest, and I'm going to bring it to 3 different regions across the country. There'll be a maximum of 10 attendees in each one of the cities because we need hands-on training of this. The 3 cities are Elmhurst, Illinois, July 22nd and 23rd, a Friday night and a Saturday. The second one is July 29th and 30th in Summit, New Jersey, and the last one is August 5th and 6th in Castro Valley, California. Today I have with me Gosha and Inez, our first 2 cities, and they're going to talk to you a little bit about why they have reached the success they have with core training. So it's a combination of that, and I want you to get to know the hostesses in the cities because you have the wonderful advantage of visiting an office that's up and running. Anita is today because she has a field manager and she can take a day off. She's done that since she started using CORE, is with her daughter on a field trip. And so we're going to start with Gosha, who has the first one, who I have to say, she was just talking to Inez. She is leaving June 17th next weekend to go to New York because her daughter is going to be singing in the opera there. So, I mean, there is nothing like these successful women in the time they have to do that. So, Gosha, congratulations. I know you're excited, and thank you for taking the time to join us today. Why don't you tell us a little bit about your company?
Hello, everyone. My name is Gosha Baron. I am with Helping Hands Cleaning Services. We are located in Elmhurst, just outside of Chicago. I've been in business for 15 years. We have currently 404 repeat clients. We have 22 full-time and some part-time employees, cleaners. We have 4 teams of 2 and 12 solos. Actually, we have 14 solos. And then we pay on the hourly rate. We have 5 company vehicles, 1 full-time customer service. We have 1 salesperson, 1 full-time administrative customer service, and 1 full-time field manager and myself. I work about 30 to 40 hours a week to run everything, so thank you.
I think it's amazing that you do that in 30 to 40 hours. By the way, her daughter is singing at Carnegie Hall. I forgot to mention that. That's what makes Gosha famous. Now, let's go on to the infamous Inez Korn. Inez, welcome. Thank you for joining us. It's been a while since we've seen you. Tell us a little bit about where you are at these days.
Okay, so we've been 11 years in business. We're based out of Summit, New Jersey, which is a suburb of New York City. We have over 250 repeat clients, 18 full-time cleaners. We have 5 teams of 3 plus floaters. And then we pay by the job with the travel time. We have 6 company vehicles. In the office, I work full-time. I have another full-time person, and then I have 1 part-time person.
Very good. You guys run your offices pretty lean and mean. Okay, getting right into this, I want to talk about what each one of these 2 people did when they started, before they used CORE, and then how they bridged the gap once they started using CORE. What was the difference? And we're going to start with Gosha. Gosha, when did you first purchase CORE training? You've been in business 15 years ago. Did you start it? Well, it wasn't out 15 years ago. Do you remember when you first purchased it?
Honestly, I do not remember. I believe I bought it, I purchased about 5 years ago or so. I cannot give you the exact, I cannot give you the time, but that's what, about 5 years ago, I think.
And did you, I mean, as soon as you purchased it, did you start using it all the time with new employees, and how did you use it?
I showed the employees the C.O.R.E. Yes, I was showing everybody that came into the office. Yes. Was I showing them the right way? Probably not.
But everybody did watch all 5 modules of C.O.R.E. every single time, okay? And then what happened then? After they got done, did they watch all 5 modules at once?
Correct. They watched all 5 of those modules at once, and then they would go into the field, work with another person, with a team. They would work with a team for a month. So no official training. That they would literally go, and I would train them. Actually, I would train them for a day in my house, and then they would go and work in a team with the team for a month.
Okay, and in a month's time, you felt they were up to speed.
Right.
Okay, so how are you using C.O.R.E. now? What happens now? Do they watch all 5 at once?
No. What we do is we have them watch the bathroom first, then they go clean the bathroom. Then they watch the floors, how to clean the floors, then they clean the floors. Then they watch the kitchen, they clean the kitchen. So they watch, and then they use that theory that they've learned from the C.O.R.E., and they use it in practice. So that's how we do it now.
Okay, and about how long does it take now to bring a person up to speed?
Now we do it in a day and a half, 1 day and a half.
Amazing. That is amazing. Well, and how long did, okay, so let's talk about the quality. How long did it used to take to have, where you knew you could send somebody out there and their quality would be good? A supervisor wouldn't have to fix very much. How long in the old days? How long now?
First of all, I did not have a supervisor there. Then I was a supervisor. The quality was very poor. We struggled. We could not keep up our top quality. We had a lot of complaints. And it was just not, we were not in a good spot. Okay,
and that's true. I mean, you started using so I guess what we're saying here is how you implement C.O.R.E. is equally as important to C.O.R.E. itself, because you really used it for 4 years and you were still getting lots of complaints. Which doesn't say very much for my videos, but then you had me come into your office in June and learn the process of training, and you said now you're getting less than a complaint a week.
Right. We have about 1 complaint a week now with 400 repeat clients that we do. I say it's not your video, it's that how I implemented, how we presented the video to our new employees, to our people. It's just they weren't taught properly. I did not put the time. Now we just revamped the whole training system, and the training is the core of our business. So.
Yeah, very good, Gosha. I'll pay you for that later. Does it have any impact, do you think, on employees staying longer? Do you have less walking out the door in the first week than you used to have?
Oh my gosh, are you kidding me? I don't even want to. I cannot even tell you how this has changed. I feel if I am embarrassed, but I almost want to call all the other people that used to work for us and they quit after 2 months because, number one, they had so many complaints. Number one, they weren't trained properly. They didn't know what they were doing. And now, so I would love those people to come back and I can say, listen, we have the proper training now. I'm sure you could stick with us now. Because
That's cute.
I see how our cleaners are staying with us. I mean, we have people that we hired, about 6 people last year, and they are still with us. So
It's wonderful. That's that longevity.
Right. They know what they are doing.
Give you the repeat clients. So that brings me to the next question. Do your cleaners follow the process exactly?
We pretty much force them to follow the process, and then we explain to them, and we have to give them a reason why they have to follow the process exactly. And once they understand, they do follow the process. Yes. There always has to be a reason.
Yeah, reasons make them do things, that's for sure. Okay, so let's move over to Inez, who's in a little different situation because Inez has not gone through here's how I think you should implement a process, but Inez and I have worked on the phone together a lot. She used me as a consultant on the phone when she hated her employees, and we turned that around. So Inez, when did you first purchase the C.O.R.E training DVD?
I would say it was about 4 years ago, Sharon, that we started using them. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, probably when we started working together, now that I
Yes.
think about it. That might be true, okay? And how were you using them then? And are you using them the same way now? Because you haven't really gone through this class you're going to go to. So how are you using them?
Okay, so what I have them do is I have the new person, when she starts, she would go through the before you pick up a rag video, the bathroom video, and then maybe the dusting video. They take the test, and then they go out with a supervisor. I like them to start with my senior supervisor if that's possible. Otherwise, I'll go with one of the other team supervisors. So they would go out with a senior supervisor, and the new hire, would watch our senior supervisor clean the bathrooms. Then she would do a bathroom by herself with the senior supervisor just watching, not working next to her. So that is, I would say, 75 to 80% of the time how we do it. I say 75 to 80% of the time because sometimes things happen, it's too crazy, we have two people coming in, and then it falls apart, and then we're not doing it the way it should be done. Once the supervisors report, and then after they work with the senior supervisor, then they can rotate with the other supervisors. Each time they work with a supervisor, there's a form that I have them fill out that asks about their the quality in the area they're working on, and then asks about the time to complete the area. So in the first 2 weeks, there's feedback on a daily basis, like, hey, you're doing great here, but you need more consistency with whether it's how you fold the tissue paper or whatever it is. Then once it's completed, that we're satisfied. Some people we have people that in 3 to 4 days are great in the bathrooms, but usually to get them up to speed in the time, it's usually taking about 2 weeks, I would say. And then they start to rotate. As long as they're meeting a certain standard, then we put them in the kitchen. So they'll watch the kitchen video. Sometimes, and this is where, again, it falls apart, they don't watch the kitchen video and they go straight into working with a supervisor. Ideally, the senior supervisor, and then go on to another supervisor. But we really count on our senior supervisor being the one that knows the system and makes sure everybody's doing it the same way. But I do have issues. I have issues with some teams following the system perfectly in some areas, but not in others. And, and that's usually where the quality issues do come from. Or sometimes it's an efficiency issue.
Okay. So it takes you about 2 weeks to get them up to speed. Is that both quality and efficiency, do you feel, about a 2-week situation? But that's in one area, right? In the bathrooms, you said.
Exactly.
Okay, interesting. Okay, and they don't follow the process exactly. Okay. I hope that we have a change in that when I come out there, Inez. It's interesting to listen to the two of you. It really is. Okay, let's go. Inez, since I'm with you, Valerie, give to me the value of stack rank them. Aprons, tile, razor blade, feather duster, and whisk broom, and which one would you never, ever give up?
The apron. Never give up the apron.
And what secondly would you not give up?
The tile brush.
Okay, then?
And the third would be the feather duster, and I think they're probably pretty close, the tile brush, the feather duster. And that would be followed by the razor blade scraper, and then lastly, or maybe I would put the whisk broom and then the razor last.
Okay, interesting. Gosha, how do you stack rank them?
Number one that the most important is the apron, the feather duster, the tile brush, the razor blade, and then the whisk broom.
Interesting. Okay. Interesting that both of you rank the feather duster so highly. And Gosha, when I went to her a year ago, it took me at least 4 cosmos to talk that woman into even being willing to talk to me about him. Oh, she was not going to have him in her office. And now, I mean, she's, right, Gosha?
Right. Right. I just purchased a new, better feather dusters, and it's worth spending the money. They cost about $20, and our employees, they cannot stop raving about these the different feather dusters that you recommended from before. It's just worth spending the money.
They got those.
Really do an amazing job.
They got those special little feathers that are supposed to do whatever it is. Okay, I am going to come back to this because Gosha has to leave us at exactly 3 o'clock, and I would like an answer to the last question, and then I'm going to come back and go over the cities a little bit, everybody. But first of all, we'd like to hear from Gosha on this next question. Well, where is it? Give the 3 major reasons you would tell somebody to come to Chicago to this event.
Number one is, first of all, to really get a good handle on the system and how to properly implement that in your business. This is what I was lacking. We did not implement the videos correctly. We weren't showing them correctly to our teams, to our new employees, and that's why we were lacking in that training system. I'm willing to share with everybody what we do, what works and what doesn't work in our business, and I will be willing to share with you what really made us to grow, what makes us grow 27% a month every month. So that I'm willing to share with you, and I'm sure you will really find that interesting.
And I do want to say, Gosha had, when she started this last June, and gosh, it's a year now, just a year, probably that I was in your office, actually. Well, I went to Milwaukee early last year. You were at 260 repeats?
245, I think, 245.
245 repeats, and now she is at 400 repeats in 1 year. I mean, I just think that's something to write home about. It should be written in a Fortune 500 magazine. Nice job, Gosha. But I do think it was the implementation and not just C.O.R.E. You got to have them both.
Right.
So thank you so much for joining us. Have a wonderful time at Carnegie Hall. We'll be looking for you. Honest to God, I'm so happy for you, Gosha, and so happy that you have the time and that smile on your face and you're not nervous as can be, and you're running off. It's perfect, Gosha.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, hopefully they will all see you in Chicago, and we're going to go back to Inez.
See everybody in Chicago.
Inez, could you please tell me, I'm sorry, let me first talk about this, and then we'll give the 3 reasons. So what is cross-country training? As I said, it's going to be in 3 cities. There's 2 venues in each city. On Friday night from 4 until 8, you're going to actually get to see the owners' offices and how an up-and-running office works. These people have 22 employees or 18 in these 2 cities. Anita is smaller, but she's got 160 repeat clients and a field manager. So you'll be able to see how an office actually operates. We're going to go through some basic things that night, selling and keeping a repeat client. This is all about the repeat client. How you recruit and interview and hire people, because I know y'all are having a hard time getting people. How you orientate them. As Gosha said, they stay a lot longer now. And then a little bit about tools, tricks, and teams. I go through this very, very fast, but as I was saying to Gosha, because I've done this so much now, I will only go through the aha moments with you. I don't have time to go through all the other stuff, but the aha moments are the things that you need to hear because most of you have experience in this arena. So I'll just give you some little tweaking ideas that will make you hopefully sell twice as much like Gosha. On Saturday, it goes from 8 to 5:30 in the owner's home themselves, in Inez and Gosha's, either of the two homes. You're going to watch all 5 modules of the core training while we're there. You're going to actually clean or actually coach. We're going to go through the process of how you would teach a new person. Then that lasts until about 3. That is the big bulk of the day. Then I'm going to rapidly go through how do you keep it all in place? How do you keep these people from leaving you? Because you want to lock the back door on your internal clients just like you want to lock the back door on your external clients. You don't want to be losing them. A little bit on leadership versus management, the one-on-ones that keep it all in place, staff meetings, performance reviews, and a little bit about keeping the hope going with your people. So what do you get and how much does it cost? You get everything on the website with rags to riches that has to do with dealing with employees. So you get core training in English and Spanish, which is valued at $699 itself. You get 5 employee support DVDs. You get 8 online seminars for owners, managers, supervisors, and cleaners. You get all the forms, manuals, performance appraisals needed to manage a small or large cleaning staff. How much is it? If you register by June 26th, it is $899. If you register after, it's $999. The value of these items, which I forgot to put up here, is actually $1,432. So the core DVDs and everything in the first bulleted section comes to $1,432 if you buy it yourself. You automatically get the course with this plus all of those items. If you can't afford to pay it all at once, I want you people to learn this. I actually have a payment plan. It's $399 down, $75 a week for 8 weeks if you do this before June 26th. But you do have to do the payment plan now because I won't run that after June 26th. So that's what it's about. I personally think it's a heck of a good deal, and you get to network with 9 other owners, which is perfect. Now let's go back to Inez, now that she has some meat and some prices. And Inez, why don't you tell them the 3 major reasons you think they should come to Summit, New Jersey?
Well, I'll give you $1,300 worth of reasons. I just sat here calculating what we would save if we could get our training down from 2 weeks just on the bathrooms to what Gosha said she's doing in a day and a half after she did cross country with you. And, you know, easily that would translate to $1,300 for any new hire. Now, if we could then improve quality, I mean, that just multiplies itself. So that's, I think it's all about the implementation. That's what I'm sort of honing in on.
I will agree with that. I will. And I don't think I realized that until people came to Hill Country Harvest, because we spent almost the whole 2 days cleaning my house. That's how dirty it is. No, I'm kidding. Teaching them how to do that, and the aha moments that they have, it's like, oh my God, I never thought of it. Some of them go, I don't think I ever watched C.O.R.E. Even though they've seen it a million times, they don't feel like they'd ever really watched it. And Gosha is not the only person. Most of the offices who really embrace C.O.R.E. are doubling the first year. It's amazing to me. So thank you, Inez. And I know you will be there. I'm eager to work with Inez. Is there anything you'd like to add, Inez?
No, I, hope to see people here in the New York area. It's a fun place to visit. And if you're coming down, you should take a couple extra days to visit the city. And we're, looking forward to sharing what we have going on here and getting all we can out of your stuff, out of your information, Sharon. So I'm looking forward to it.
Thank you, Inez. And we do hope that we see a lot of people from New York. The reason I am bringing these to the regions is because I understand it's a lot of time and a lot of money to buy a plane ticket, to try to get to Austin, which is an inconvenient city to get to, which is insane, and to invest 2.5 days. It's tough. Here you can drive to one of these regional cities, You don't have that cost. You only have a day and a half to a little time out of your office, because Saturday you're not in your office mostly anyway. So I really am hoping that this is convenient. It opens up this window to more of you to close this gap between repeat client base because you clean perfectly every time, and a one-time because you just can't quite figure out what that repeat client wants. So if you have any questions, please call me at 866-499-7247. I should have had that up there. And also my website is successmaideasy.com. But you all got to this through the newsletter, and all of that information is in your newsletter. Thank you for your time, Inez. Thank you so much, and I will see you in about a month. I'm very excited to come there. And yeah, it's going to be fun. I'm going to spend 4 days in their office before then, so it's going to just really be a fun situation. So I will see you all hopefully in a city near you this summer, and best of luck to all of you. Thank you for joining us.